Solid Waste and Recycling Board. I guess first thing I want to do is to approve the agenda. I want to make sure everybody's gotten a copy of the agenda for today's meeting. And do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
Second. All right. And hopefully everybody's gotten a copy of the minutes from the March 25th meeting. And hopefully everybody's had a chance to review them. And do I have a motion to approve them?
Make a motion to approve.
All right, second. Do I have a second from someone?
I'll second.
All right, I guess we could do the introductions now. I'll go first. My name is Kim Corley. I represent District 8, and I'm filling in for Randy today, who is normally the chairman.
Derek Coates, Lufton, District 4.
Sally Dennis, District 7. Caroline Jolby, Solid Waste and Recycling. Victoria Hoffman, Solid Waste and Recycling.
Archibald Horn, Solid Waste and Recycling. Sheldon McIntyre, County Sheriff's Office, Environmental Fire/Marine.
Cindy Carter, Solid Waste and Recycling.
Chris Finney, Marine Corps Air Station, Beaufort, Liaison.
Mike Bennett, Hillnet.
Bill Grandy, District 6.
I don't think we have any public comment. Do we have any public comment? I don't think so. We'll move on then to, has anyone had a chance, or are there any updates regarding the any meetings with your county council members? Okay, if no one's had any minutes or meetings with their county council members, we'll move on to the reports. Cindy will do the first ones, the SWR reports.
All right, in your packets, I've given you the board reports for March and April of this year. I'll just give you a quick summary. We're currently at 75,075 total tons of residential waste that's been generated in the county. That's compared to 71,139 in April of 2020. The number's a little deceiving, as the first 6 months of the year were considerably higher in volume. As we head into the last 2 months of this fiscal year, we hope to have really good news summarizing the beginning of our DECAL system implementation, and I do anticipate a plateau or an actual decline in the fiscal year totals. We're continuing to monitor the percentage of residential household trash collected curbside versus the convenience center collection use. At the last meeting, we told you curbside was at 75%. Through April, it's now increased to 77%. The traffic numbers through the convenience center continue to drop down to a total of 64,000 cars in April. As I mentioned, I would like to mention too that we are struggling a little with staffing at our centers right now. We're down 25% of our part-time attendance. It's been quite a task for our operations folks, and we know that other service-oriented businesses are having the same problem. I'd like to give kudos to my operations superintendent as he's trying to shuffle people around as we lose staff. Moving on back to our reports though, our recycling tonnage was 3598 in April of 2020. There's a slight increase to 3851, so we've gained 253 tons in the last year. Our total revenues remain in the red for recycling, but currently it's only at 44,000, which is significantly less than April of last year at 228,000. Any questions?
Can I add something?
Yes. Yes.
I like you just piggyback, off what you said about the recycling center. I live out there in the Pinewood area, and it's rough going in there. The one thing, they put up that screen. We had 3 lanes where you could get in there, 1 lane to go out and 2 lanes to dump your solid waste. With that screen up there, it makes it harder for people to get in there. You got so you got a bottleneck in that third lane, you need, where the, orange thing, that's closed, so you don't have anywhere to go. And you can hear the aggravation, well, we don't really need this decal if we're gonna have this problem. So,
We'll look at it. We might could do a little better at marking the 2 lanes that folks are supposed to be using.
maybe that would probably help, but, cause I see it in the next meeting, if it hasn't gotten any better,
Okay.
I'll say something again,
Absolutely. We're a work in progress.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know you said this, but I got confused by all the numbers. You said the recycle, or the solid waste tonnage was, out of the community center, was up or down? What was
It's
the number?
actually up some this year, from 35.98 in April of 2020
Yeah,
to 38.51 of April 21.
yeah, but the traffic's significantly down,
Yes, it is.
so people are hauling more, less,
The ones that are there recycling more.
or recycling more.
I really attribute the drop in traffic to the 3 days a week versus unlimited. I attribute it also more to, I think the contractors have gone elsewhere.
Yeah, people are probably, and people hauling more, instead of coming 3 or 4 times a week or whatever.
Yep.
And then the other question I had, you did say the recycling numbers, what was that again?
Oh, the revenues?
Yeah. I saw, was it this monthly processing from Waste Management?
If you'll look on your April report,
Mm-hmm.
the very last page,
Yep.
where we have revenues on the left, and then we have all of our MRF information on the right.
Yep.
We're not in the red on the left chart. We are still a little in the red on the right of what we've had to pay as a balance.
Mm-hmm.
But this time last year, we were in the red 228,000. This
Okay.
year, we're only in the red 44. I say only 44, sounds like it's a smaller number, but
Yeah, obviously, that increase was due to the recycling revenue,
yes,
most of it, I'm assuming?
a lot of it.
Yeah.
You'll see and notice if you compare last year's report that the other charges or our credits are a little bit higher.
Yeah. This COVID thing, it was actually an interesting blessing on secondary commodities markets. It actually cleaned out, with all people buying stuff, with cardboard and buying stuff, period, on Amazon. It was a very interesting clean out of backlog of paper, cardboard, paper, all those commodities that come back up. You can see it in the report.
That may be impacting what we're seeing.
Yeah, it's a big, yeah.
Great. Any question? All right, I guess we're gonna move on now to the recycling coordinator report.
Last board meeting, there was a request for the total tonnage of electronic waste collected at recycling events. Beaufort County has held 4 events from September 2020 to May 2021. We recycled 108.64 tons of e-waste from the 3 previous events held. We're anticipating to receive the totals from
in their area. And so we have asked over the years for DOT to post do not litter signs, which they will not do. So we were trying to accommodate our Adopt a Highway groups by, offering something a little bit more creative. And these little signs have been very effective, believe it or not. We have someone in Beaufort County, an Adopt a Highway group, put the sign out right in front of a townhouse, and it's the entrance and the exit to a townhouse complex that was horrible. There were kids, that's where they catch the bus, and it really has made a noticeable difference. So we are at least doing what we can to promote a Do Not Litter campaign. We also have, it's something similar to this. We have on the back of the Palmetto Breeze bus, we have 2 Do Not Litter signs posted. The Palmetto Breeze gave us a great deal, 70% off their rates. So we have do not littering, this is your community, same thing. I think that's really a neat message that our trail came up with. And so we signed a year contract with them. One of our co-workers saw it on the way to work, got really excited. They're all over Beaufort County, and it's for a year. So that's another thing we're trying to do with the Do Not Litter campaign. So are there any questions about the Adopt a Highway program or our Do Not Litter campaign? Once again, thanks to our trail for coming up with the idea for these signs and creating them.
Thank you.
That's good.
Nice, nice.
All right, our trail, can you provide the litter and enforcement report?
Yes, ma'am. Today I'll just be speaking about a couple of events, or about an event and an update. On Wednesday, April 21st, 2021, Beaufort County hosted its 4th annual Earth Day cleanup. We had 131 Beaufort County employees participate from a number of different departments. That's also to include a few employees from Jasper County, Town of Bluffton, Bluffton Police Department, the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office, and the City of Beaufort Public Works. And we collected a total of 614 bags across all 11 council districts. Our grand total was 12,280 pounds, or 6.14 tons of litter collected. I'd say the best 2 things about this event, we picked up 103 bags less than we did last year. And after we sorted through all of our bags for recyclables, we reduced that 614 bag count down to 502 bags that were actually taken to our local convenience center. So we were very happy with that. And the only thing I have after that is the Day Watch Litter program came to a halt due to COVID, and we were happy to announce that we'll be reinstating that program on July 1st. Thank you.
Good job on the recycling too.
Thank you.
I have a question. Was there any type of litter that was paramount as compared to something else?
Just in a general basis, or during the cleanup event?
Yeah, on the cleanup event.
No, sir. It's different in every neighborhood, I'd say. Some of the bigger highways, yes, you do see a lot more construction debris, that sort of thing, larger objects. But all in all, it's just your standard litter: bottles, cups, paper here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Cindy, I guess we can move on into the discussion items now.
And I will throw in for enforcement, today in the back, we have Sergeant Rick Benny from the Sheriff's Office. He's now the supervisor of the Sheriff's Office Environmental Crime Unit.
Oh.
Welcome. Welcome, thank you.
All right, excellent. All right, Cindy, you want to move on into the discussion items?
All right, probably for the next couple of items, I'll try to give as many updates and answer as many questions as I can. For the decals, right now we've issued 46,102 as of yesterday. The new applications are slowing down considerably. We're still working on a lot of the AIRS applications and a lot of the postcard applications because those have to be manually entered. We're finding a lot of those are actually renters or tenants of properties, and we're having to go through that mechanism. A lot of them were from commercial apartment buildings, so you just have to go through each one individually, and it's very time consuming. I always want to thank Angel Marcinkowski. She's been heading this up for me, and she's done a remarkable job. We are still a work in progress. Right now, the centers are open in the soft opening. We started that January 1st. So if you come into the center and you don't have your decal for whatever reason, they'll give you a little slip of paper with some websites so that you can go and do your own registration. And then we hope to go to a firm opening, talking about the infrastructure roads, August the 2nd. So especially at Shanklin and at Bluffton, yes, you would be routed to that far left lane to exit the facility. At St. Helena, you'd be turned around, maybe U-turn, because there's room there to do that. Hilton Head, they're actually scanning at the roadway, so you just would not enter the facility. The two facilities that will be remaining open for recycling right now will only be Shanklin and Bluffton, even if you're in an apartment complex, you can, because those recycling areas are before the scanning device. So we may open that up later to some other opportunities, but right now we want to make sure everybody's got a decal or that they have trash service provided from their commercial entity. So hopefully August 2nd we'll have some more information. Those numbers might look a lot better even after that. So any other questions about decal? And Mr. Bryan, I do appreciate your comments, and we'll take a look at that. I'm going to move on to the next one. We've had 2 RFPs out in the most recent future. Back in 1st of April, we had one for our scrap metal and white goods. We received 4 bids. We formed a committee, we reviewed those bids, and the award was to Charleston Steel. That award did not have to go through committee because it was revenue only. The next RFP that's out currently, we've received 7 bids. We do have a committee formed, and the bids are still under review. We hope to have a recommendation on that RFP to public facilities by June 21st. Any questions on that one? The next item will be our enterprise fund. Solid Waste and Recycling Enterprise Fund was established through 3 readings of County Council and Resolution Ordinance 2020/19. There was an ordinance amending that ordinance this past Monday, May 24th. So not only did we form the enterprise fund, but now we have the fee structure for that. I've enclosed the ordinance in your packet. We had originally talked to Tischler Weiss about doing a fee for those revenues. It was determined by council that they would rather use millage. We don't have the current millage rate right now, but we think it's going to be about 5 mills to form our budget for this coming year. And I really appreciate the board and your support through all this. And we really look forward to this coming year.
That's going to be used strictly for solid waste? Strictly
for solid waste. If you look at your tax bills now, there's actually a listing at the bottom for stormwater, so that people can see what they're paying for stormwater. So what this is doing is there's going to be a separate listing that'll say solid waste, but it's not an additional fee. It's something. It's a millage that was already in the general fund, but it's now being listed out so people can see what they were already paying for their solid waste. Because I think a lot of people still have the misconception that solid waste is free.
But see, I know I shouldn't. See, what's when I understand what you're saying, but there's always a but. That's what they told us about. You know, you're paying for the. I think it's something like $9 that you're paying for the drainage, you know, to keep it clean and all this good stuff. But when do, and I realize Beaufort County is growing, but when do these people ever come around and do this stuff on the drain that we paying this millage for? You know, like I say, I realize that Beaufort County has grown and it's still growing, you know. And I've been here for a while, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't get it, because I don't see people coming around and actually taking care of these drains or the runoffs, you know. Where I live, and I don't have, you know, I understand what's going on, but, you know, when you take pictures of the last hard rain we had, I can't let my 8-year-old granddaughter go in the backyard and play, because the minute she goes out, you got 747s attacking her and attacking me, you know. So does anybody in here understand what I'm getting at? There's a couple of drainage areas where I live at, and I never see anybody.
Where do you live at, Mr. Brown?
Pinewood.
Pinewood? I believe that's all maintained by South Carolina DOT. I can tell you that Beaufort County Stormwater regularly maintains all county ditches.
Mm-hmm. So, what I'm saying is that I went to Public Works and showed them the pictures. I've been down to DOT and they tell me, well, that ain't ours, that's, like you say, that's somebody else. And I can show you the pictures that I took when the last rainstorm came about, and it's you know, I guess what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem paying the extra millage. I have a problem paying, and every time there's a hard rain around here, in that one particular area where I live at, I have a problem because the mosquitoes are in there like yesterday, you know? And now it's dry, there's no mosquitoes, but I know as soon as the next hard rain comes along, there's gonna be that pond, and there's gonna be 747s again.
If you'll send me the address, I'll pass it on to our stormwater folks. But just, I don't want to be confusing. The ordinance that we're talking about is going to be for solid waste and recycling. And it's
Gotcha.
not a fee-based, it's going to be a millage-based.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't think as far as stormwater, I can't speak to the stormwater part of it, but the you know, the solid waste part of it is very obvious, very measurable too. Obviously, when that trash goes to the landfill, so you can see exactly where your money's going.
Any other questions about the ordinance? If not, I'll finish up with Weston and Sampson and the Sustainability Campus. You probably remember we contracted with Weston and Sampson to do a regional feasibility assessment. It was with Beaufort, Colleton, Jasper, and Hampton counties. We did get that final report in, I think it was August of last year. Obviously what it showed us the most is Beaufort has all the tonnage and not many opportunities to do something with it ourselves. So we've gotten back in touch with Weston and Sampson. We have a purchase order in place, and they are determining if we have any options for a sustainability campus here in Beaufort County. So as soon as we get that report back from them, obviously we'll be bringing that, or I hope there's more than one option or one parcel that's acceptable, and we'll be bringing that to the board and then on to public facilities.
Is there a time frame?
I think they're working on it now, so I have not heard a time frame for the end of that report. And just to let you know too, we're working with Abby Goldsmith again. She's gonna do our solid waste management plan update. She's had a couple of calls with the municipalities. I know she did Town of Bluffton, Town of Hilton Head, and City of Beaufort, just to get started with, what they have in place and how that plays into our plan. She has a call with the Town of Port Royal on Tuesday, and we're moving forward with our vision for for the next 20 years. So all these pieces are gonna eventually fit together. I know it seems a little disjointed right now, but there is a plan.
The only nerve-wracking thing about that is that, the landfill contract obviously is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And, the consultants and the time and then the build and if there's changes are gonna be made, I mean, your time's 3 years?
Yeah,
4 years too?
Yeah.
I mean.
And all of that's got to play in. Obviously, verbally, we've been told that there will be some additional life. There will be then other opportunities. Maybe they will do a transfer station. But we're moving forward with these, and hopefully we'll have some resolutions soon.
Any chance to get a look at what the Weston and Sampson scope of work is?
For which one? You want to see from the feasibility study?
Yes.
I'll send you that report.
Because the multi-county, although it was supposed to be a preliminary feasibility, almost locked into options and eliminated options, as opposed to, again, being a feasibility study. Is there much of that being used for the sustainability report?
It does fit hand in hand, so I'll be glad to send that. Did everybody want a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like to see what they're really doing, what the scope is.
Sure. That's it.
So they're actually gonna come up with recommendations for plots of land or to
That's
that
right.
level?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right, any more questions or?
I don't have a question, if I can just say something.
Sure.
I would just like to publicly thank Cynthia and Artrell for what they do, because my job's tough, and without them, it would be about 100 times tougher. We work hand in hand. My predecessor, Sergeant John Gold, he finally retired, and he had a very good working relationship with them, and I continued that. Again, without their help, I'm a two-man unit, so they come in very handy, very quick to help me out with just simple questions or actual trash pickup. So I just want to publicly thank them for that. That's it.
Thank you. Great. All right, any board requests? Nothing? Okay. All right, we will adjourn this meeting, and the next meeting is going to be held, are we supposed to have a motion for adjournment?
You're good.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm learning here. All right, so our next meeting will be held on July the 22nd at 2 p.m. And I guess we're going back to the executive conference room, or maybe it'll be in here.
We're going to try to get back to the conference room, and if not, I'll make arrangements. Hopefully we can meet in here again.
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Good job. Good job.
All right.